I just feel like life magical was like magical before the internet. It was like magical.
Yeah.
Like I used to get excited for things, you know? And looking back from like age 18 to like now, it's kind of a blur. I didn't really do much. I never understood why, you know? Like I feel like I wasted my life. And I feel like you know how like I get up early in the morning and you know I get tired at night and then I get up early in the morning and like I've been like doing stuff or like I've been forcing myself to do stuff or like we did a bonfire or we went to Starbucks and we're like I'm starting to do art and like I think that's just life expressing itself through other means when you cut off a certain mean, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I've always felt abnormal. And I'm not going to say, well, it was the internet's fault because, but when I was in, I've always used it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was in eighth grade
Mm-hmm.
and we were at, school was out. School was out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was sitting there and I was like, my mom was like, she was like, why don't you go outside? Why don't you do this? And I was just like, I don't know. I was like crying because I didn't know how to socialize. Like, I didn't know. I always had social problems.
When was this?
Eighth grade. That was like, so I've always had social problems, you know? And I swear to God, I think it's the internet. I think the internet fucked me up. Because, and this is just a theory, I just think it creates a false sense of social, like a false sense of social interaction. It creates a false social interaction. And the information that you get from it, whether you start chatting or you're playing video games or you're doing this, it's like I think it creates I think it puts your brain in a different reality temporarily. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yeah, it does.
I never had social problems in my life till I started using the internet. I mean, I had the usual shyness as a kid, but like how I did a full picture and I did art.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in years. I can't remember the last time I used colored pencils. I used to use colored pencils when I was in fifth grade.
Really?
Yeah, I used to color all the time. I used to do art, real art. Like when I started using the internet, I made digital art for the internet and it was never like substance. It was never like real. hey, check out this art I made. Well, you'd have to come to a computer screen and look at it, and then that was it. Like, I never did real art ever since. Ever since I started using the internet, ever since I did digital art, it was always on the computer screen. Like, my art, and just over the years, my art just, it lost that quality, like that artistic quality. I never can say I produced something in the past. Fuck, when did I start? I started doing digital art when I was like 16. I can't say I did something quality in all those years. I mean, a little bit stuff here and there, I would do a little. But it's kind of like trying to do art while you're addicted to the internet. So you're doing the art and then you post it on the internet to get feedback. Versus just finishing the fucking picture and just doing it and letting go and just, you know what I mean?
Oh, so there was like always a reason.
I would always do art, color it, and then post it on a forum or look for feedback. Like, I never finished my art because of that. And I started at a young age because
What do you mean?
I started using the internet like 6th grade. I'm a 30-year-old man. And I just think it fucked me up. I think it prevented me from growing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How come I'm getting all these memories back? Like, I'm starting to remember things from my childhood. I'm starting to remember, like, what was important. I'm starting to remember art. I'm starting to remember movies. I'm starting to remember things that impact me. Why is it when I quit the internet, all of this stuff has come back to me?
Because you're not using all your conscious.
Yeah, yes. I think that it sucks our consciousness out of us and puts it into a projected cyber reality. I swear to God. I swear to God. It's like the Matrix. I started in 1996. And back then, if you used the internet a lot, you were like a freak. You were considered like a computer nerd. Now everybody's on the internet. What does that do to our society?
Makes us
walking fucking zombies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how bad it is. I don't know how addicted people are. I mean, this is everything. This is internet, Netflix, YouTube, TV, movies, everything. Like, I'm just thinking about, like, there just been nights or weeks when I was working, when I wasn't working. There's just been like times where I thought all I'm gonna do is just stream Netflix, or I'm just gonna do this, or I'm just gonna watch YouTube videos. Like, why? Remember I told you I would go on and just click like the forums just for no reason. I would just click. I had no idea why. That's addiction, dude. What do you think?
I think that it is addiction if you're just clicking and you don't know why. You're just so you just like stimulation. You're just like click and like like you're not in control. I think you just like people get so used to just being in another world.
Ever since I quit internet, movies, Netflix, YouTube, all that shit, I feel that I've been dreaming every night, and I feel that the dreams are messages, number one. And I feel that you start to appreciate the little things in life that truly matter. And you start to realize, start to become more productive. But it's a slow process because I spent years on there. I spent years on the internet. 15 years, half of my life. You know? And I know why. I know why I was depressed. You know, I read a post somewhere where a guy, he knew he was using internet, TV, movie, he was using it as like escapism. It's called escapism, I guess. He called it escapism. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I spent the last 15 years online in my escapism. And what happens is the world fades away, cyberspace increases. You live like half in cyberspace, and then you live like almost fully in. So my point is like, what the fuck, you know? So I want you to quit because I think it would open your eyes, and maybe you'll go, shit, maybe this is what I needed. And when I mean like, oh, a little bit of chatting here, I'll go on Facebook here, or I'll, like, that little bit of energy that you spend chatting, or a little bit of energy you spend on Facebook, that could have gone into the real world. How do I know? Because I experienced it. Like, there have been days where I was motivated, I had energy, and I was like ready to face the day. And I went on a chat room, or I went on a forum for like 10 minutes, and I was fucking depressed for no reason.
What was this?
This has been several times. And I thought, oh, maybe I just need to like drink some coffee, or it wasn't like, now it makes sense. Like, call it a different reality, call it putting energy into a different emotional response. I don't know what it is, you know, but there's something about putting emotional response into cyberspace or into your computer that steals your energy. It sucks your energy out of you. And I don't think people realize. I don't think people are realizing what's going on. Like, I don't think people have a clue.
Yeah. Like what's going on like in their life, or like everybody's?
I don't think people realize 5 minutes on Facebook, 10 minutes on Facebook, 10 minutes on Twitter, 10 minutes, like, I don't think people realize all of this attention into the cyber world, onto the internet, is like sucking the life out of them. I don't think people realize that, because it did that to me. That's what happened to me. Mental, physical, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, mental, physical, spiritual side effects, changes So I just think people, I don't know, what do you think? Am I being dramatic?
No. Were you saying physical? It affects physical too?
Yeah,
Makes you
remember,
tired, huh?
remember I had withdrawal symptoms?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you tired. Like, I, there have been several times where I wake up in the morning and I'm ready to face the day and I'm motivated, and then I'll go online and all it takes is one argument or one disagreement and it sucked the energy out of me. Like, I'm just miserable.
Yeah.
But see, you don't notice it until you cut away from it. Until you cut the internet out of your life, you don't notice. And on the internet, like YouTube videos, all it is just every adolescent, adult, addicted, whiny mentality spewing whatever opinionated, mostly negativity they can. So it's just a culture of just exhausted emotion spinning on this little commentary. You read that, you absorb that into your psyche. You have to respond to that. You debate with it. Why? What a waste of energy. What a waste of life, you know. And if I could start over when I was 16 years old, 15. No, I started at 11 or 12 because, let's see, 95, 5th grade, 94, let's see, 10. I was 12 years old. I would have said, no internet, man. Who knew, you know?
Yeah.
I used to be so creative. I mean, I taught myself how to play guitar.
Yeah.
I taught myself how to do art. You know, when I got on the computer, all of that energy went into the computer.
What age did you teach yourself to play guitar?
Right before the internet. I got the internet.
Really? That young you taught yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, I was 12 years old and I started playing guitar with my thumb. It was funny, I would just play with my thumbs like all weird. It would be on my lap.
Oh, really?
I probably could have been like a guitar whiz by age 17 if I never used the internet. Well, no, I'll take that back. The internet helped me learn guitar better.
Yeah.
See, it was like a love-hate relationship because I became like the internet. I learned a lot of stuff off of it, but when it came to the real world, it did a lot of damage because I used it for a social outlet. You know, I was always posting to the internet like for feedback on everything, and I was always like on Facebook, and I was always like on my, you know, when MySpace came out, like everybody wanted to invent themselves on MySpace. It separated us, you know. Social media separated us because everybody wanted to invent themselves. Everybody wanted to reinvent themselves or invent themselves, and
Yeah.
it like separated us.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Oh no, my nose is
Oh.
I'm sniffling.